Hello Internet, and welcome to my live reaction for One Piece chapters 1059 and 1060. When we last left our heroes, we found out everyone's bounties, with Zoro, Sanji, and Jinbei joining Luffy in the Billion Plus Club. Everyone getting some kind of a bounty increase, including poor Chopper, who only made it to 1,000. And then we found out all about Cross Guild. And just what kind of charisma led Buggy to get Mihawk and Crocodile working under him. It's a lie. It's all a lie. Buggy's subordinates spread the word that Buggy was the boss. He was not. He's just sort of forced to be there to help pay off Crocodile's debts, or his debt to Crocodile. And Mihawk and Crocodile are sort of okay with letting him be, like, the figurehead so that he takes the fall. They're also all in the Billion Club gang. Crocodile is, like, not quite at 2 billion. Buggy's just above 3 billion. And Mihawk's at, like, 3.5 billion, which is weird because the government believes Buggy is the leader, but okay. All in all, Cross Guild is a lot of fun. I hope we see more of them going forward. So with that said, let's jump right on into chapter 1059, the matter involving Captain Koby. I don't think Koby had made captain last we left him, but okay. German 66's On Emotionless Excursion, Volume 18, Caesar's Hallucination Gas. So when we last left this story, I think Caesar had, like, begged the Vinsmokes to help him, and now he's using some gas to make Oven and Katakuri fight each other instead of the Vinsmokes. So maybe that's to, like, get the Vinsmokes to like him or something? I don't know. Anyway, we open near Whitebeard's hometown, Sphinx, the New World. And it's Marco, who's been on some ship. Well, so long. Thanks for the ride. I guess, right, because before he came to Wano, he was, like, acting as guard or something for Whitebeard's hometown. What, you aren't going to join our crew, Marco? Haha, don't be crazy. I spent enough of my life babysitting big-time pirates, haha. And he's been with the red hairs this whole time. And Shanks yells at him, whatever. I'm not a handful. Tell him, Beck. And Beck just tells Marco, he's a handful. As Lucky Roo laughs in the background. And as Marco flies off, he just leaves them with a, see you later. And we cut back in time, back to Wano. We've still not fully left Wano, I guess. And we hear, you're not going with us? Come on, let's be pirates together. You can't do this to us, Yamato. Oh, so this must be when Yamato first told Luffy that he was staying in Wano. Okay. You know what happened, don't you? When that Wisman attacked, it was someone's incredible haki that kept him at bay and saved the country. So it's not that, like, the idea for Yamato to not join the crew is not, like, you know, it's influenced by his reaction with by his encounter with Aramaki. Okay. That does make it a little more sensible. And Yamato goes on, Kaido's not around anymore, but next it'll be guys like him coming after Wano. I can't just turn my back on everyone now. You can't go adventuring if you got worries in the back of your mind, right? That goes for me and for you. But, like, you know, this being Yamato, he's still, like, giddy at the thought of being a pirate. I want to be part of the crew. Call me your crewmate. But Luffy just acknowledges what he said. Yeah, I get it. But I guess this way is more reassuring for us, too. Take care of Momo and the others for us, then. Yamato just nods, I will. And Zoro then tells him, just remember that Momo's got a lot of pride, Yamato. I know. I'm going to search for something to keep myself busy. And we just see Sanji still in dismay at Yamato not joining them. Yamato! Which is my reaction to Yamato not joining them. And then Marco is, like, flying over. This is Marco's flashback, of course. Hey, Straw Hat, there's a ship nearby that'd be perfect for me to hitch a ride on. I'm gonna go ahead and bounce soon. Marco? So you're leaving, huh? Okay, that's a thing to say, Marco. Not telling Luffy what ship that is. Marco just tells him, that's right. And then Luffy flashes back to Marineford. As Marco had called out, take Ace's brother and go, Jinbei. Hey, you saved me during the Paramount War, didn't you? Thanks! And Marco, like, plays it off. At the time, we all just jumped into action to do it. Why do you suppose that was, Jinbei? And Jinbei just laughs. It was so long ago, I've completely forgotten. Wahahaha. I'm sure Ace is delighted to see how much you've grown since. And Luffy just gets this big old grin, this really sweet grin. Hee. You think so? And Marco flies off to join the Red Hairs for a bit. This next era belongs to you guys, so keep your wits about you. Sure, so long. And as Marco flies back towards Sphinx, we cut to the Island of Women, Amazon Lily, in the Calm Belt, which I don't think we've really seen since... I mean, maybe when the Warlords were dissolved, because Hancock would have lost her Warlord status then. Unless, she didn't lose her Warlord status after Marineford, did she? Because of, like, allying with Luffy? I don't think she did, but, like, that's... I'm not sure why she wouldn't have. Anyway, the damage to the town is severe. It's been ages since men invaded us so heavily. Okay, so there's been some attack on Amazon Lily. The Navy will always come as long as I am here. Where am I to go? At this point, I just want to be married to Luffy. And like this is Hancock, of course. And the Elder tells her, "You mean at every point?" I've never really been a fan of Hancock, really. I don't think she's that fun a character. But okay. Weeks earlier, we see the Navy attacking Amazon Lily. We've breached the gate. The Kuja are fighting back. Send the new Seraphim Pacifistas to the fore. Please activate the recording cameras. Aye, aye. Are Seraphim Pacifistas different from the Kuma models? Also, I forgot to bring this up in my recap from last video. And also, like, now that I'm thinking about Kuma, I was expecting resolution to the Sabo phone call that ended last chapter, but no, it's just Marco and Hancock. So, alright, maybe I hope this is not Oda stringing us along for another 3 years before we get more news about Sabo. But anyway, we see Vice Admiral Yamakaji, who I believe is a new character, just comments, Hancock refuses to show herself. And then some of the Kuja note, who is that? I can't find a little girl her size. Chapter, she's so strong. I guess Chapter's the other one's name. Plus, she looks like, and we don't know who she's meant to look like. She's clearly not Kuma, because Kuma is not a little girl. He's a giant man and not an angel either. Which maybe she's a Lunarian of some kind? Given, like, the flame motif with her wings, definitely feels like it ties in with King. And we didn't really do a lot with King and the Lunarians. But anyway, this Seraphim, as she's being called, has a laser from her hand that, like, blows up a big chunk of Amazon Lily. Watch your stern, all battleships! And then we see from behind the Navy, there's another ship arriving. Huh? What's that? Be careful on shore, we've got pirates! The Emperor Blackbeard and his crew have just showed up. Okay, that's never a good sign. What is Blackbeard after? And he causes a seaquake with that earthquake ability he stole from Whitebeard. It's a seaquake! Ah! Zehahaha! The Neptunians are going to notice! So they're doing this without... Because Neptunians are Fishman Island, right? So they're doing this without Fishman Island knowing? Okay. But Blackbeard just laughs. Zehaha! I've come for your pirate empress. I won't let the Navy have your power. Okay, so now Blackbeard is trying to get... I mean, he clearly fails to get Hancock onto his crew because we've seen in the present she's not with Blackbeard right now. But now, I guess that, like... I mean, they you know, the government had its reasons for getting rid of the warlords, but they still want the power of Hancock on some level, I guess. And Blackbeard does too. Then this is... I think Catalina is her name? Marinu! Oh, Hancock, that beautiful face. I'd love to cut off her head to be my latest treasure. Blackbeard, right, because he's gonna get her devil fruit too, is his plan. She's all yours, as long as I get those powers. And then, I don't know this jester-looking guy's name. Come on, don't you want to take her back with us alive? So we can be good friends with her? That's a creepy thing. Random Blackbeard guy. And then we see the Marines are asking the Vice Admiral, Vice Admiral Yamakaji, give us the order to attack Blackbeard. Wait for clearance from HQ. Which is, like, not a great thing to say when there is a Yonko right outside. But Blackbeard uses that earthquake power he stole from Whitebeard. Gah! I'm not here for you lot. Get out here, Boa Hancock. And then we see Koby, who is on Amazon Lily, who says to himself, I suppose it was inevitable that pirates would try to assimilate the former warlords. And he's trying to negotiate with Hancock. Please, Hancock, the Navy does not want to fight you. We'll simply take you into custody and leave, I promise. And then do what, Koby? What is the plan after they take this woman into custody? You think they'll just, like, let her be friends? They'll take her to Impel Down and execute her. Or are they still using Impel Down? I think they still are, even after the breakout. I know they're not using Old Marineford, but I think they're still using Impel Down. Hancock's sisters defend her. Let us handle him, sister. Don't get full of yourself, Koby, the so-called hero. Rick, is that only about the, like, parts of the Paramount War that largely didn't really involve Koby at all, but, like, seemed to? It's been a while since I read Marineford, and also, like, just didn't like Marineford very much. So I may be off on some points of the details of Marineford. But Hancock opposes. This is nonsense. I will not belong to anyone. I follow no man's orders. And she steps out to her sister's protest. Don't do it, sister! And then back with Blackbeard, they're struggling, I think, given Blackbeard's next line, against the Seraphim. Save us, Commodore Teach. Nothing works against this one. Huh? Whoa, you kidding me? White hair, brown skin, black wings. Yep, it's a Lunarian. Hey, what gives? Did that one kid beat you all? And then, he sees the PX emblazoned on her chest, like a pacifista. PX? Is that a pacifista, then? He's not calling her out for being a Lunarian, despite that line about the white hair, brown skin, black wings being Lunarian traits. He just calls her a pacifista. And his next line is not they have a Lunarian pacifista, but blast it, they've got a little kid pacifista? Which, yeah, it's he seems to be focusing on the Lunarianness of her, but then sort of stops that. What does it mean? But the pacifista just goes at him. It's huge! I guess just he has to defend himself with his hockey, but, like, it's a hard blast, I think. And then he activates his original ability, Black Hole, and consumes something. Yeah, it looks like he's, or could he be like spawning? Like he had absorbed those buildings with Black Hole in the past? Because those don't, no, those are the buildings of Amazon Lily. I see the little snakes there. That's very much their motif. But Hancock is making her way through the Marines with her slave arrow, turning them all to stone, in love with her, you know, her general deal. Yeah! Including Helmeppo, Vice Admiral Yamakaji. Yeah, they're both the Vice Admiral and Helmeppo are turned to stone. Stop the pacifista. He'll shatter everyone turned to stone. That's an order. Stop! Oh, right, that could be bad if they can't, like, cure them if they're shattered. But Hancock readies her next move. Perfume, and we see Koby react. But she can't finish that. Snake Princess, he's nullified her powers, and we see Blackbeard has arrived and is using his devil fruit to restrain her. Unhand me, you filthy creature. So I guess the Pirate Empress title wasn't just for show. And we see titles for Hancock and Blackbeard and bounties. Former Warlord of the Sea, Pirate Empress, Boa Hancock, bounty 1.659 billion. Emperor of the Sea, Blackbeard, Marshall D. Teach, bounty 3.996 billion. Which I think, is that above or below Shanks? Let me see what Shanks' bounty is. No, it's just below Shanks. It's, Shanks is 4.048 billion, and he's 3.996 billion. Still higher than anyone but Shanks, I think. Though, you know, bounties are only go so far. And Blackbeard goes on to you know, still denouncing Hancock. Look what you've done. You turned all my idiots into stone. And Kobe's allies are also stone. What can I do? Everyone's made of stone now. I've been hoping to get your powers. But Hancock tells him, this power is nothing without my beauty, which is fair. Her powers work by petrifying people who are attracted to her, right? Including Katarina, we do see. Catalina? Let me remember what her name was. I forget. It's Katarina. It is Katarina Devon. Thank you, Wiki. And also, she continues to tell Blackbeard, kill me, and your followers will remain petrified. The next wielder of the fruit cannot undo the spell. And Kobe's like impressed at her strength and determination there. But Hancock's toughness is beyond anything I imagined. Hancock then turns to it's Blackbeard, not Hancock, to Kobe. This isn't getting us anywhere, is it? No, this isn't getting us anywhere, is it, Kobe the hero? You helped me out in that Rocky Port incident. Thanks to you, I was able to topple Wang Ji, making me the boss of Pirate Island. Do we know Wang Ji? I mean, we know that he was that Blackbeard had set up shop on Pirate Island. We saw that like 100 chapters ago. But I don't know if we knew the story behind that. I don't know. If I let this woman go, do you think she'll play nice and turn my men back? And Kobe just tells him, I need her to put my men back to normal too. And Hancock tells them both, if you both leave without trouble, I will do that. But Blackbeard does not believe that. No, you're lying. I let go and you'll turn us to stone next. And that's the end of it, ain't it? It's impossible for any man not to fall under your spell. Except for Luffy, of course, who did not do that, but okay. Well, I guess I have to kill her. And Kobe yells, no, don't! The human cost is too great. Which, hell of a thing to try to, like, get through to Blackbeard about. I'm not sure he's the kind of guy who cares about the human cost of an action. And then someone arrives. You know, I expected a naval siege. And it's Rayleigh with like hockey crackling off of him, but not one bold enough to change the shape of the island. I'm sorry for getting here late, Hancock. And I think that's Blackbeard's response to Dark King Rayleigh. And Rayleigh is just taunting him. Hey, you. Taunting Blackbeard. Whitebeard's cabin boy. This isn't very mature of me, but I've never liked you anyway. And Hancock mutters out, Rayleigh, right arm of the Pirate King, Dark King, Silver's Rayleigh. Here to save the day for Hancock, I imagine. Kobe's just stunned. What? Is that the Silver's Rayleigh? Right, because Rayleigh was not at Marineford. I guess Kobe's never met him. The Blackbeards all react, what? Undo the petrification, Hancock. I'll mediate this situation. Nobody here is to overstep their bounds. Just behave yourselves and quietly leave the island. Rayleigh is forcing peace on all of them, which does call to mind... It calls to mind Shanks' forced peace at Marineford. A similar thing Rayleigh is doing here. Interesting parallels there. I don't know. And then we cut to the present day, where Amazon Lily is still very much damaged. But Rayleigh's there. I'm just glad everyone's alive. Thank you, Rayleigh. Progress always causes trouble for someone. And it's Shakuyaku, the bar owner from Sabaudi, and, like, you know, Rayleigh's friend. Empress of Amazon Lily 2 generations ago. Former captain of the Kuja pirate Shakuyaku. Which, I don't think we knew that. I think that's new information. Okay. I mean, I don't know enough about this character to really comment on that at all, but okay. But Shakuyaku goes on, Vegapunk Sea Prism Stone paddle ships mean the calm belt isn't as safe for us as it was before. The old, you know, elder lady goes on, the Navy siege, our new weapons, Blackbeard's arrival. I thought there was no saving us. And we also see Hancock just like draped around Rayleigh's leg, which, okay. But Rayleigh then comments, quite frankly, it was only the particulars of the situation that made it possible to save her. At my age, I couldn't have possibly won in a head-to-head fight against Blackbeard. So I guess, like, the Marines being involved made things uncertain enough that, like, the Blackbeard chose to withdraw. So the Navy thinks those new weapons are a replacement for you warlords, eh? And the sisters respond, even by the end, there wasn't a single scratch on those two. It was so strange, because I could swear one of them looked identical to our sister as a child. Okay. Do they have another sister, or is that specifically Hancock? I mean, Hancock as a Lunarian, because I doubt their sister would be a Lunarian. I can see the similarities between the Seraphim and Hancock. Especially they have the exact same earrings. Actually, now that I'm looking at them both, yeah, they have the same earrings. Similar hairstyles, but not, of course, same skin tone or hair color of the wings. So this Pacifista appears to be Hancock if she was a Lunarian. Which it feels like we're going to have to get into the Lunarians one of these days. I don't know. We'll see. And then we hear a Navy report. That's right. We'll proceed to Egghead and dock the ship. As for the abducted Captain Kobe, by the Blackbeard pirates, status unknown. The hero of the Rocky Port incident, Captain Kobe, has been kidnapped. So the next chapter being titled Luffy's Dream makes me think this chapter is largely going to be a standalone issue. So I'll talk a little bit about 1059 in particular before I move to 1060. And it's another one of those, you know, Wano is over, it's time to see what's been going on in the world, as we set the pieces up for the stage of how the world is set up as we move to the next arc. And as I suspect this next arc is going to be a lot more involved in world affairs than Wano was, thanks to all the heavy focus on Wano's isolation. I don't think the next arc is going to be half as isolated as Wano was. But even like Wano still had his connections to the outside world, but largely just through Kaido and through Big Mom. The government was largely, beyond Aramaki's appearance at the end, not involved in Wano. That's going to change. Once all of this ends, maybe with Luffy's dream, the next chapter, like maybe this is the end of all of these you know, not quite table setting, but like all these flashback chapters, all these sorts of these chapters about seeing what's been going on in the world might be ending here, or not. We'll see. But my point being, this will all be very important as we move forward. And there's just like a lot to like here. There's a lot to sort of chew on with the Hancock Lunarian Pacifista, which is very, because like the last Pacifistas were copies of Kuma, right? You know, they were all identical to Kuma. And now, this girl has nothing in common with Kuma. Or not with Kuma, or she has a lot of differences with Hancock. She's a Lunarian, but also is Hancock at the same time. It's interesting. Unless we're setting up that, like, I don't know, like, I don't quite buy identical to our sister as a child. I don't see meaning that, like, Hancock dyed her hair black, cut her wings off, and got into a skin bleaching routine to not be a Lunarian anymore. Though she was enslaved, right? That was part of her backstory, by the government. And, like, maybe, or by a celestial dragon, I think, right? And maybe she, like, when she told that story to Luffy, she hid the Lunarian aspect, and part of it is hiding her identity? I don't know that that's a possibility, but it's definitely might be a possibility. I don't know. And then we have the whole, you know, Blackbeard and Kobe, who are largely just, you know, it seems their presence here largely seems to be there to set up this whole Kobe being kidnapped by Blackbeard, because Blackbeard really doesn't do much beyond kidnap Kobe. You know, the Navy has to be here to drop the Seraphim Pacifista on us and all the implications that might have. But for the most part, Kobe's been kidnapped, and we'll see what comes of that later. I also do want to clarify, I'm not saying definitively that Hancock was a Lunarian and then cut her wings off, dyed her hair. The skin bleaching is a little much. That's my point. I'm just saying it's a possibility, maybe, or they just, like, took Hancock as a base model and made a Lunarian who looked like Hancock. I don't really know how Vegapunk's pacifistas work, so we'll see going forward, I imagine. So that said, let's dive right on into chapter 1060, Luffy's Dream. We have this great 2-page cover picture of the entire crew, sans Yamato, sadly, all hanging out together. Reader request, redraw the coloring corner page from volume 8, but with all 10 crewmates. I suppose I could go back and look at volume 8 there and see this. But it's just a nice image altogether. Anyway, chapter 1060, Luffy's Dream. And we open with the Sunny. No way, it's not true. He wouldn't kill Vivi's dad. Luffy's heard the news. Sabo would never do that. And Robin agrees. I agree with you, of course. The enemies of the Revolutionary Army are the world nobles, not the kings themselves. The revolutionaries declared war on the Celestial Dragons. Their chief of staff, Sabo, assassinated King Cobra of Alabasta, while the princess of that nation, Vivi, went missing. And Luffy just screamed, "Let's go to Alabasta right now!" But Zoro stops him. "I'm telling you, King Cobra is already dead. What are you going to do there? Vivi went missing in Marijoa." Then let's go to Marijoa! And we see Caribou is snuck aboard again. He's still here. Snuck aboard a barrel. Huh? Going to Marijoa? Dang, I can't really hear them. But Zoro just gets on to Luffy. "That's the home turf of the enemy, you idiot. You want to fight Navy headquarters?" And Luffy kicks the Caribou barrel aside. Caribou lets out an in his thoughts. "Yeah, I do. Are you scared or something, Zoro?" "I'm saying we've got nothing to go off of. Chill out, Luffy." And Sanji's just in tears. "Wah! I wonder how Vivi feels about this. Where is she now? Please be alright." But yeah, the crew is reacting not well to the news about Sabo and Vivi and Cobra. However true that news may be, they don't know yet. Luffy, of course, does not believe it, but we'll see. And Chopper is just in tears. "Vivi's dad is dead?" And a flashback to Cobra thanking them. "He was so nice to a bunch of pirates like us." And Usopp joins in. "Yeah, you'll never meet a better king." And Nami's going through something. Worried about Vivi, worried about her feelings, worried about Vivi. But Jinbei just comments, "It sounds like this reverie was quite a turbulent one." And Frankie comments, "We met your brother in Dressrosa, didn't we, Luffy?" And Brooke comments, "I don't think I've ever heard of Alabasta suffering under misrule." Which, like, as far as we know, yeah, the kings of Alabasta have been largely good. And Nami finally breaks down. "I can't. I'm too worried about Vivi. Where are you?" And Luffy agrees. "Me too. Come on, let's go save her." And Chopper agrees. "Yeah, let's go." And then Zoro stops them all. "Come on, knock it off, all of you. Remember, Luffy, what did you say when this happened to Ace?" That's not the great thing to say, given that not going to save Ace immediately may have contributed to Ace dying. Like, does Zoro remember how that story ended? It did not go well for Ace. He fucking died. But just, Luffy smiling. Ace has his own adventures. Until there was an undeniable danger, you let Ace live his own life. You don't think Vivi can figure it out for herself? She's a strong woman. When it comes time to act, we'll fight whoever we have to. But when there's nothing to be done, just put up with it. And Luffy just snaps, "Grr, well, at least let me vent a little." I mean, still, again, not going to save Ace killed Ace. Ace died, Zoro. That's just not the epic win you think it is. And Luffy snaps, "You're an ogre from Onigashima. Green Kaido, Green Mom, Crappy Moss Head." And Zoro, it's Nami and Chopper who have the Green Kaido and Green Mom. And a Crappy Moss Head from Sanji is when Zoro just snaps, "Shut up, 4th place." And then we see Robin is still reading the news. So many things happened while we were on Wano, and they're all rapidly developing. The dissolution of the Seven Warlord system, resulted in high-level pirates being unleashed upon the sea. And that led to the formation of the Cross Guild, and with it the new Emperor of the Sea, Buggy the Genius Jester. And Luffy shuts up about Vivi for a second to just snap, now that's just a mistake. And I love Nami in the background be like, yeah, that guy fucking sucked. He's not Emperor material. But Robin goes on, now Luffy, there are more names with some connection to you in here. Do you want to know? And Luffy thinks, in typical Luffy, I'll leave that to you. Just tell me if it's real bad. Alright, I'll do that. I'm sure you've had enough news for now. I still want to hear the news, Robin. Tell me the fucking news, Robin. But Luffy goes on, Sabo didn't do it. I know. Sabo grew up in a home that controlled him. He just wants everyone to be free. And then we cut back to the dream conversation. That might be where this chapter is going. I want to see the world and write a book about it. Is Sabo's dream. And Luffy goes on, okay, then I wanna, and Luffy then says, I swore an oath to him and Ace, just the three of us. Are we gonna get the answer of what Luffy said here? I wanna, and no, we don't fucking get the bit. We still don't get the answers for the fucking dream. Everyone knows but us. Come on, Oda. Cut us some fucking slack. But then everyone reacts. Zoro, huh? Jinbei, what did you say? Nami's just what? Brook laughs. Yo, now that's just hilarious. Usopp, hey, you can't be serious about that. Frankie, cry laughing. Blah! I love it, man. Sanji, dah! Hey, Chopper, you might want to examine his brain. Robin is speechless, and Chopper's all for it. Oh, wow! Which, again, we still don't know what that fucking dream is. But Usopp tells him, come on, you know that's not possible. Maybe it is. Once I'm the king of the pirates. But Usopp goes on, I mean, who thinks of something like that? And Luffy looks at them all, huh? Did I never tell any of you this before? And nope, never. Not that I mind, but it can't happen. I mean, I wish you would tell us. I guess it was only Shanks and Ace and Sabo then. And Robin asks, what did they say? And Luffy falls back lying down. They laughed. Shanks had tears in his eyes, hee hee hee. And that's all at the end of my dream. Which we still just don't fucking know. Why make a chapter titled Luffy's Dream if you would not tell us what Luffy's dream is? And what is the mystery? I know this is Oda and giving us, stringing us along for years on it's been 20 plus years since the Will of D was first talked about. I mean, still have no idea what that's about. But this is the motivation of our protagonist. It feels a little different than the Will of D. And Jinbei just laughs. Wahaha. Well, now that I'm here on this ship, I guess I've got to take it seriously. This is quite a captain I've settled myself with. And Luffy just grins. Hee hee hee. And Chopper's eyes shining. That's great, Luffy. What a great dream. Nami comments, it does sound like you. But it definitely ain't possible without being king of the pirates. Just one more road poneglyph to find. And this is Frankie, actually. And then we can get to Laugh Tale. And Robin pushes back on that. Don't make it sound so simple, Frankie. It's that last poneglyph that no one's been able to find for a very long time. There are absolutely no clues to its whereabouts. Right, this is the one that was at one point on Fishman, but is no longer there. And then we cut to Navy HQ, where they're still listening in on the... We're cutting back to the Sabo call. Message from Flame Emperor Sabo to the Kamabaka Queendom. Where is he? Trace his signal. There's no white transponder snail jamming. It's an emergency call then. I'll hang up soon. Trace successful. Where is he? The Kingdom of Lelusia. Do we know Lelusia? And the elders are listening into all this too. Lelusia. My word. That's one of the 8 countries that revolted the other day. The perfect place for Sabo to be hiding. And I think, is that Im in some garden? I think that's what Im looked like, right? I see. An unlucky man. No, it is simply destiny. All the elders are sort of taking in this information. And then we come back to Kamabaka. Sabo? Sorry for the trouble. Sabo! I'm so glad you're alright, my boy. But Sabo is desperate to get to Dragon. I wasn't the one who assassinated King Cobra. And the revolutionaries all react, right? I knew it. I believed in you. We had a feeling, Sabo. But when I was in Marijoa, I saw something terrible. Terrible? What was it? And we cut to Leluja. And with just, I don't know, I guess he's in Leluja now. We don't quite know what happened with that revolt that the elders talked about. The sky's so dark. Are those clouds? It's almost like some massive object is hovering just overhead. Okay. I don't know what that's about. That feels ominous. But we see they've overthrown their royal family with the Kingdom of Leluja, King Seki, and Princess Komain. Seki tells them, "You'll all regret this. Mark my words. Once Naval HQ arrives, you'll all be sentenced to impalement." And the princess goes on, "Let me kill them too, Papa. These scum must pay the price." But the jail guards are just sort of ignoring him. "Confess your crimes, your Seki. We don't want to have to take your lives." So I guess they've done something terrible to the people. And then, yeah, we do see Im there. The empty throne in Pangaea Castle. And that's it. Communications. Cut off the transponder snail. Huh? Oh, right, because the whole thing about the empty throne, it's supposed to be empty, but we know that Im actually sits on that throne. I think Sabo learned that. And so, it's cut off, because if the regular Marines hear that, there will be hell to pay. So they have to cut it off. But I think he might still be talking to the revolutionaries. It might just be... It's not quite clear if he's cutting off the call from Sabo to the revolutionaries or just the Marines listening in. I'm not quite sure. The throne... But Sabo's going on with this revelation. The throne that's supposed to remain forever empty, because there's no king of the world, actually has... communications, listen to me. And the people of Leluja note, "What's that shadow? You did not detect anything today. I'm scared." And this little girl, curls up in her father's chest. "I'm scared, Daddy." And whatever Sabo sees terrifies him. You did not intercept anything. The Kingdom of Leluja and all the citizens view this bright light. That country never existed in the first place. And the island is just destroyed. Okay. Sea quake detected in the open sea to the southeast. Sabo? It's just the revolutionaries don't know what happened, but I think Sabo's dead. Did Sabo just die? Again? Okay. I mean, I guess it's potentially still a mystery, but that would be the third time now that Oda has raised the question, is Sabo dead? At this point, he's turned into fucking Kikyo, with how many times he gets killed off. Sabo? Sabo? Tsunami warning issued. And then we cut to days later on the Thousand Sunny, where this might be these waves that the Sunny is enduring might be the result of the destruction of Leluja. I don't know. It's so scary, and we see and cold. It's a sort of wintry area. Snowstorms attacking the Sunny. Watch out for icebergs. Quickly throw the sails. The wind is too strong. Are we nearly at the island yet, Nami? And Nami tells him, or no, that's Jinbei as helmsman giving orders. Frankie yells out, "Got it!" And Nami responds, "Brr, not yet, but I feel like we're in the island's climate range. I'm guessing it's a strong winter island. Oh, we're finally going to be at that new island." And we see Chopper is wearing a sort of Wano hat that Robin notes, as Robin is not helping. Oh, what a fashionable choice, Chopper. Heh. With this woven hat from Otama, I won't have to worry about the snow. I'll be right back. And then Luffy sees something from the helm. "Hey, Nami, what's that?" "What's what?" "Huh?" And it's this giant, ball of water way above the sea. What is that? It's an enormous warm eddy. An eddy? Why is it rising above the water? It's a massive warm water that got heated somewhere, and now it's being pushed upward. And Brook just comments, oh, it looks like an afro. But Nami just responds, what kind of temp difference does that? Get us out of here, Jinbei, before we get sucked in. I'm on it. But then Luffy knows, wait, someone's inside the water. Huh? That can't be right. Is it a mermaid? And Sanji just reacts, no, it's true. I can hear a lady screams, which is a very Sanji ability. From inside the water? Are you serious? Not a joke? But what will we do about it if it's true? And Sanji, or not Sanji, Zoro, ever being Zoro, is just, one plan, cut it open. But Sanji yells, if you graze a single hair on her head, I'll fry you alive. And Zoro, almost to comfort him, just says, one sword style. Bird dance. And he does just cut the eddy clearly in half. And Chopper has missed this entire incident. Hey guys, what's all the fuss? Don't worry, Woven Hat Chopperamon is on the sea, and then I guess either the wind of the storm or some more wind caused by Zoro's attack sweeps poor Chopper away. The wind's too strong. And then he flies off by the wind. Usopp just yells, what did you even come out here for, Chopper? But Luffy goes to grab him. Chopper! Luffy, he grabs him, but then Chopper is blown away by the wind too. Not you too! And they fly out, towards the severed eddy, and out pops a little kid popped out. Worst Generation, the Glutton, Jewelry Bunny, Bounty 320 million berries. To be continued. Okay, so Bonnie is a kid. Last we left Bonnie, right? Let me try to have this all right. Last we left Bonnie, she had snuck into Marijoa to try to rescue Kuma. Kuma was rescued, we did not see any more of Bonnie. And now she's a little kid on some random eddy above the water. I don't know. I can't really have anything to say about Bonnie until we get to Bonnie. Until we get to next chapter, until Sunday when 1061 comes out. And we'll maybe get more information about Bonnie being a child and water and whatever the fuck is going on there. I don't know. Bonnie's always been one of those worst Gen members that we spent very little time with, so I'm excited to see some actual character come out of her. But anyway, let's talk this chapter, the good and the bad, because I'm normally fine with the lengths Oda goes to keep his secrets. But the fact that the entire Straw Hat crew knows Luffy's dream and the audience doesn't is just weird, right? I don't think it's good. Also, I think it's a bad choice on Oda's part. It is definitively a stupid writing choice. At this point, when the entire gang knows, our protagonists all know. It's one thing if, one character knows, and we're having a bit of a cliffhanger to be oh, someone just found out some secret and we don't know what the secret is yet. That's one thing. But this is not a cliffhanger. This is midway through the chapter. It's just, I don't like it. It's the point where Oda's secret keeping has gone too far. We should know. We should fucking know. It's just bad, It's just a bad choice to not tell us at this point. That's my genuine opinion. Every other secret, fine, keep your secrets, whatever. What is the One Piece, we'll find out with the crew. What is the Will of D, we'll find out with the crew. They don't know, we don't know. That creates a connection with the audience. This does nothing but fray that connection. Doesn't sever it, to be fair, but it does fray that connection. That, now they know this big plot and presumably thematically important thing, and the entire crew knows there's no secret going on with anyone except the audience. It doesn't work for me on any level. It's just bad. It's just a bad choice all around. That being said, it is nice to just get a chapter where the Straw Hats hang out on the Sunny. And that's a good chunk of this chapter. It's a lot of antics, just letting the gang vent about the Vivi thing, letting them all vent about letting them just interact with all of the news, I love some of the little, like, sight gags in the background. Like, Nami's, like, just stern nod when Luffy talks about Buggy kind of sucking. That's really good. And I like the sort of antics during the storm. When, like, Chopper comes out just to get blown away. It's so funny. Almost enough to make me forgive the dream insult. Because at this point it does feel like an insult. Not to go back to that, but it really does feel like an insult. I don't know. I'm sure there are some people who are okay with not knowing, but, like, at this point, if Oda wasn't going to tell us now, when the fuck is he going to tell us? That's the thing. Like, with all the other mysteries, okay, Oda will tell us when the gang finds out. When Luffy sees the One Piece. When they learn what the Will of D means. But now, there is no better time than right now. Whenever Oda decides to say, here's what Luffy's dream is, it will be a worse moment than doing it right now. That is the fundamental problem. Not to go back to that, but that is the fundamental problem. This was the moment to do it, and he flubbed it. It was like a fucking T-ball, and he whipped it. That's the problem with the way this chapter handles Luffy's dream. That's my general thoughts on that. There also is, though, the Sabo stuff, which, I don't know. I mean, just the terror of him marking an X on a map and the entire island being erased from history. And it remains to be seen if that is is just all official records will purge it, or if everyone has, like, forcibly forgotten it. I don't know. We haven't quite, like, the only mention we get is the Kingdom of Lelouja never existed in the first place. But I don't know. We'll see what exactly is meant by that. If it's just we're not going to ever refer to it again, or if it genuinely has been erased from everyone's minds. And any impact it might have had on history has been altered. I don't know. Because, like, the Void Century, I mean, maybe the Void Century was erased from memory. It's just that, like, you can't erase a century without people noticing an entire century of time is gone. Here's an interesting thing. The last bit before we move to that beat, before we move to the whole Lelouja bit, is Robin talking about that last poneglyph that no one's been able to find for a very long time. Could that last poneglyph have been erased in a similar method to Lelouja? Maybe not, because if so, then there's no, like, memory influencing powers in that erase from history bit, because, like, there's still, like, clear memories around the last poneglyph. You know, we saw in Odin's flashback as Roger was collecting those. There still are memories around it. So maybe not. I don't know. But yeah, all in all, a frustrating chapter. I liked so much of it. But God, the not telling telling all the Straw Hats but not the audience about the dream was such a bad choice. It was just a bad choice. And then there's that, and that's all at the end of my dream line. It doesn't really seem to be connected to the previous sentence. Like, there's another piece that was left out, just like there was earlier. It's aggravating, and it's especially aggravating because that is the fucking chapter title. You know? It's just a dumb choice. That's the best way to put it. It's a dumb fucking choice. Oda doesn't often miss as hard as he did here, but he fucking missed here. But there's still good stuff here. There's still Lelouja. There's still Bonnie and whatever mystery that's going to bring in. So, not all bad, but like a pretty bad chapter. 59 I liked a lot more, but 60 just missed for me. Anyway, I'm going to leave this video off here. Hope you enjoyed the chapter and the video itself. If you did, feel free to drop me a like or subscribe, or, you know, do whatever makes it happy, you know? And as always, your life is your own, okay? Bye!